Hey all.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Tyke Frost.
And I'm Bjork.
And I'm not Bud.
And I'm not Dave.
Hi.
Now, did you remember to bring me my bandana?
Yeah, I think I left it in the car.
Just so this is not it.
Well,
Yeah, all right. Your hearing is not always. Yeah, okay.
Very good.
Good. So we're here to talk about SOPHA.
You know, this is a pleasure, something I've looked forward to for some time, because SOPHA has been a big part of my life, as it has been yours for several years now. You know, when I first came to SOPHA and I met Bud, I expected to learn a good deal of the technical aspects of photography and maybe a little about the artistic part, but what I didn't expect was to make so many good friends and find an environment that's just a nice place to be.
It's very true. It's like a social club.
It is.
And all the members' events, including my particular favorite event, the picture review on the first Friday night of every month, is just awesome. The friendly banter and criticism that goes on there is priceless.
No, unfortunately, I've attended a few, but I seem to be always on the road on the first of the month. But looking forward, hoping things are going to change and I have a chance to do that more often. We have many things in common, Tor, but I think one of the things we have in common is taking advantage of Bud's rewind and going to classes more than once.
Yes, you're absolutely right. That is extremely helpful. I think I've taken the lighting class 3 times, and I don't regret it at all. I mean, it's always something new that pops up. The first time you take a class, you might be a little overwhelmed and you focus on one aspect of it. Second time, you already have that down and you learn something else, and so on.
And it's also, it's a good deal financially. You get to come back for half price, and I really have learned more the second and third time through than I did the first. It's well worth doing. It's well worth keeping in mind.
Absolutely.
You know, SOPHA's got some good things coming up during the month of May. On the 4th of May, you have the Kickstart Lightroom. I was a late comer to Lightroom. I thought with Photoshop, why would I need Lightroom? And now that I've used it for a while, I can't imagine life in photography without Lightroom.
Yeah, Adobe really figured that out. You have to buy 2 programs. Very smart. But it's true, they really complement each other.
Absolutely.
In fact, you can get away with Lightroom without having Photoshop to an extent. There's a lot of things you can do in Lightroom, but if you really want to take it to the top notch, you also need Photoshop.
That's right. But this, for those folks who don't have Lightroom, aren't familiar with it, or have it and would like to learn a little bit more, this would be a great opportunity. And again, that's on May the 4th.
May the 4th, yeah, right. You know that. And then, of course, for us who barely know which way to point the camera, there's Kickstart Digital SLR. And in May, they run both days and evenings, which means that you have to take off from work because you're going to be here all the time. No, that's not correct. You actually have a choice, day or evening. So it'll suit anybody's schedule.
And you know, in talking with Bud about it, he said a lot of folks come in and have the Kickstart DSLR class, which gives you the technical aspects of your camera, but a lot of folks don't come back for the intermediate, and that's really unfortunate because that's where you learn composition and the art of making a good photograph, and simply knowing the bells and whistles is just not enough.
True, and you know, sadly, I must admit I've never taken that class, and it certainly shows in my photography.
In mine. So I guess I'll see you here for the intermediate.
Yeah, we will have to do that. We already mentioned Photoshop, but we have also both Photoshop and Advanced Photoshop coming up in May. And Bud, that's not Tyke, is teaching the introduction to Photoshop, and Dave, that is not me, is doing the Advanced Photoshop.
I've taken the Advanced Photoshop, and get a great deal out of it, and it seems that one of the things that all Photoshop users struggle with is extraction. And Dave covers that in detail in the advanced course.
Oh, you lost me here. What is extraction?
Well, the ability to extract a subject from the photograph and put that subject into a different background, different environment.
Right. Yeah, well, you know, that's way beyond me. So.
It still is me, but I did enjoy the class.
Now, Tyke, you have a pretty terrific farm sitting out there in Derry.
Deerfield.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's all right. If you're not Dave and I'm not Bud, then
So
the
why
farm
would we
could
know?
not be in Derry. So
My
no,
excuse is that I'm
kinda
not
works.
from here anyway. So.
That's all right.
You had snow on the ground Saturday.
Yes, I did. Not happy about that. You know, it seems every time I come home, it snows. And I tell myself, find courage. This will be the last time this year. You come home, it'll be green and nice. And I come home, and it's snowing again. So you suggested that I not come home anymore so that everybody could have some good weather.
That's true.
But we got engagement portrait class coming up with Marina, and that's last year I think was the first one we did at the farm. Very, very enjoyable. It was a great class. And you don't have to be a professional photographer to get a lot out of that class, because if you're shooting outside in that environment, and that's really what engagement photography is about. But it's also anytime that you want to do candid, you want to shoot your girlfriend or your family or something that's going to be outside. Those are all techniques that have application beyond engagement photography. And Marina is a great teacher.
Yes, she is. She actually taught the class last year, of course, and I took it, and I found it to be extremely worthwhile. And it's my understanding that I'm apparently taking it again this year, so I will obviously be there.
I'm not sure I could face a class without you, so
that's very kind of you.
You have to be there for that. And I think that's coming up on May the 18th.
What? May 21st, it says here.
I guess you're right.
Let's mix up the dates. Let's have a bunch of people turn up at your firm on May 18th.
Well, you're all invited on the 18th, but if you'd like to come for Marina's class, I would suggest that you do it on
I
May
guess the
21st.
big question is there going to be cookies?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
The good kind?
They're all good, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Never met a cookie that I didn't like.
It shows.
Having said that, moving right along.
So, serious stuff then.
Very serious.
Yeah, October 1st.
It's save the date.
Save the date.
This is, as Tor said, this is serious stuff. It's a help portrait. October the 1st. SOPHA is looking for volunteers and some assistance here. Why don't you tell us what it's about?
Oh, you want me to do that? Of course you do. So anyway, there are families in need around the country. This is a big thing, actually. This goes on all around the country on October 1st. And what SOPHA is going to do is we're going to have, through the Catholic charities, we're going to have families in need being bussed in. They're all going to get their portrait taken. We're going to have makeup artists. We're going to have possibly some wardrobe. And this will be a big event. We're going to have 4 setups in this studio and 4 setups downstairs. And we're looking to actually, for you to save the date, we are looking at about 90 volunteers to max out. So it's an important event. It's a very worthwhile cause. And now over to you.
Well, the folks that come in, they'll have their picture taken, and they'll leave with a portrait. They'll be printed right here on site. And as you said, they'll be bussed in, they'll have their pictures taken, they'll get the prints and be able to go home with a print. But now it's very intense here, as you said, 80 to 90 volunteers to make it all happen. And also, SOPHA could really use some assistance from sponsors outside of SOPHA to help with some of the details. You know.
Some of the expenses that surround this event for SOPHA is feeding the volunteer crew and ink and paper for the prints. And corporate sponsors or charitable organizations that are willing to participate in this would be much appreciated.
Absolutely, it's very important. It's a worthwhile endeavor. It's important to the individuals, and it kind of, like pictures do for any of us, it provides a timestamp, something that occurred in their life that's important. And this is a big burden for SOPHA to carry itself, and any any donations from corporate sponsorship would be greatly appreciated and well needed. And it's a great place for a corporation to step up and give us a hand.
It's very true. Yeah, I look at this as, you know, you take this back and it has such actuality. You know, you go to flea markets and you see all the family portraits or individual portraits from sometime in the 19th century, and how important that was to that family or that individual at that time. This is really no difference.
Absolutely, and to be able to get, say, professionally done photo, although that a lot of our photographers won't be professionals, certainly when Bud and Dave get done with us, be professional quality photos.
Well, you know, half of the success of a portrait, at least, or more actually, is in the lighting.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, you get the lighting right, then pretty much anybody can push the trigger.
So remember, save the date, that's October the 1st.
Yes, it's a Saturday, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
And, you know,
we don't know other things to say, right?
No, but
it's
well,
time for the bananas.
Yeah, well, all right, I'll have one of those.
No,
well, thank you very much. This has been delightful.
No, hang on, we're not done yet. Oh no, we're not done yet. No, we're not going to get out that easily. No. So anyway, most importantly, this Friday, picture of you. Submit your images. Sign up with Bud so he knows you're coming, and submit your images in black and white, please. We done?
I think so. Thank you very much. Not Dave.
Thank you very much. Tyke? No, Bud? I had to think there for a minute.